Donor and for joining us on this special day. So without further ado, Mr. Phil Lipoff.
Greg, thank you, and thank you to everybody who is joining us here on this beautiful, beautiful day. From what I understand from our meteorologist, it could have been a lot worse today. You know, you use the word hero, and I think that most donors would not consider themselves heroes. They would consider themselves decent human beings doing the right thing, and I think we have a lot of those folks here today. My goal today my task today is to introduce two perfect strangers who are in this audience, haven't met each other today, but no doubt have been thinking about each other for quite some time. Before I call James up to the stage, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the bone marrow and blood stem cell donors who are in our audience today. Each of them should be recognized and honored for their selfless acts of kindness toward a complete stranger. So please join me up here on stage. Alec, David, April, Mike, Christina, Daniel, Paige, Kristen, Nick, and Jared. I would also like to invite transplant recipients who are here today to join us on stage as well. Please come on up. Because this is what it's all about, and this is why we all get, well, it was a blood test when I did it, but now it's just an easy swab. Everybody should get swabbed before they leave. You should tell everybody you know to get swabbed. 25 million people about worldwide. We need to double and triple that. We need to double and triple that in the years to come. So now please help me welcome James to the stage. I want to tell you about James. Go ahead, give him a round of applause. James is 4 years old, and he's joining us from Houston, Texas. He was diagnosed with leukemia on October 8th, 2012. Here he comes. He was just 19 months old when he got that diagnosis. James's parents were terrified, as you would imagine, heartbroken upon receiving the news. They thought of their previously perfectly healthy baby boy having to undergo cancer treatments to fight to save his life. And that thought, as any parent would know here, is overwhelming. Hey, James. He gives the best high fives. I swear, you got to get one before you leave. After you get swabbed, you get a high five. How about that? He would only need a transplant, though, if he relapsed, which unfortunately he did in August 2nd of 2013. This time, he had a tumor found in his brain. Upon learning James would need a transplant, his parents were so worried that they wouldn't find a match, that maybe the match wouldn't be willing to donate. The thought of depending on a perfect stranger to do something so selfless for them was overwhelming, and it was frightening. They didn't know if it was going to happen. But when they heard that a match was found, James's parents felt like there was a huge weight lifted off their shoulders. His transplant took place at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, which was very close to their home. Stephanie and Nick stayed with James while he was in the bone marrow transplant unit, and his grandparents also stayed overnight and visited. But as you know from this whole experience, James's transplant, his experience was not that easy. In order to have a transplant, a patient must achieve complete remission through chemotherapy and radiation, and that is never easy. For James, that took 4 months. He had his transplant on December 12th, 2013, and finally was sent home January 27th, 2014. Stephanie, Nick, James, they haven't met their donor yet. I had the pleasure of speaking with her this morning, and I can see the excitement and the tears of joy right now in her face. Stephanie and Nick say James's donor is their hero, and they are so grateful for her. They thank her for allowing their son to live his life and for giving him a second chance at life. Stephanie and Nick said that everyone here today is responsible for finding a donor for James. It is because of your support that donors can be found for children like James. James, you ready to meet this special person? Yes. James, your donor is 22 years old. She joined the registry in the spring of 2013 at Boston College at a drive run by her friend Michael, who is also here with us today. Michael organized the drive because he lost his brother to leukemia and organized the drive in his memory. Your donor says that she always thought the chance of her actually being a match was very slim, but she was not expecting to get a call so soon. Believe it or not, she joined the registry in April of 2013 and was called just 5 months later. Some people go their whole lives and never get called. I went 20 years before I got a call. 5 months is just amazing. She said that she was overjoyed at the idea of being able to help someone, especially a little boy that she had never met. Your donor says that in the end she chose to proceed with the donation because she wanted to do all she could to save another human being's life. She encourages others to join the registry and says, "There's no greater feeling in the world than knowing that you've changed a stranger's life for the better." She is incredibly excited and even a bit nervous to meet you this morning. She said she's been dreaming about this particular moment since finding out that she was your match. She's joined today by her mother, her sister, and her boyfriend, James, Stephanie, and Nick. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to your life-saving donor this morning, Kayla. Nothing like having such a personal moment in public like this, yes, with everybody watching. I know that there's a lot to talk about, and they're going to get to do a lap together, so they'll get to talk about everything. But Kayla, I know you're emotional. You can say a few words. You say a few words.
I just first of all want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's incredible to see so many people here. I know we weren't anticipating it being a huge crowd because it is the first year. But I just want to thank everyone, especially who helped me, my friends and my family, and my boyfriend and his family who took care of me the month after my donation. Thank you all so much. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'm so excited to meet you guys. I'm so happy to see him doing well. I was not anticipating getting this emotional because I normally don't. But I just want to thank everybody and encourage everyone to get swabbed. Bone marrow donations aren't as scary as I think everyone makes them out to be. It's not as painful as everyone told me it would be. So I just want to encourage everyone to, help someone else. My thought process was kind of, if anyone in my family, if anyone sitting in those front rows and some of my friends standing in the back, if anything would ever happen to them and they would need this, I would hope someone would do it for them. So how could I not do it for someone else? So I'm really happy you guys are here, and I'm excited to get to know you better.
I'd just like to say it's amazing to be here and to meet James's donor. It's something we've thought about for a long time since we found out James had a donor, and James got the donation and it engrafted, and it's working great. Her donation and the gift of life saved James's life. And a part of her is going to be a part of him for the rest of his life. And it's an incredible thing. And donors and the gift of life and everybody going to get swabbed is what makes that possible. And I'm so thankful for it.
And this is the reason why you go and get swabbed and why you tell everybody you know. Now it takes 60 seconds to get swabbed. The kits cost $60, which is why the organization needs donations. Whatever you can give goes to paying for those kits. 20 years ago, when I got tested, it was a blood test, and it was a lot more difficult. Today, It takes no time at all, under a minute. And then at any point over your lifetime, you could get a call, and this could be the result of a call, a perfect stranger helping save another perfect stranger's life. Kayla and I were talking about it, and when do we, when I say we, I mean normal people who aren't in the business of saving lives, firefighters, police officers, EMTs, doctors, those people are used to saving lives, but the rest of us, we don't ever get a chance to do that, and I think as a human being, there's no higher call. And then this is the result. It's absolutely so beautiful. All right, please help welcoming now to the stage Shannon for the national anthem. Shannon is here representing his mom, Jill, who is also a Gift of Life donor. Shannon, thank you. Everybody for coming today, thank you. We're going to start the walk, and James and Kayla are going to lead us. So let's follow them all over.